Hi, welcome to the video. So today I'm going to talk about 3 note per string blues scales. So if you haven't done blues scale, it's just a minor pentatonic with a flat 5 added. And of course you're going to add in both octaves. Now the difference on the 3 note per string one is it kind of, I think, transitions more easily to a non-blues sound. You can still, of course, use it in blues, but you can use it in rock, metal, jazz more easily because it has the same number of notes as if you're doing a standard 3 note per string minor or major scale. So therefore you can use the same picking, some of the same lick ideas or sequence ideas in the blues scale as what you would in your major or minor scales. It also, because it has jumps in it of minor thirds, it'll move you into new positions. So it can be used even just a single string or a couple strings of it as a way to move from position to position in either pentatonics or your major or minor scales. So I'm going to show single octave of all the fingerings, one off each of the 5 notes from your minor pentatonic, and also 3 octave positions, and then a few licks too. The tab I'll show at the end, but you can also download it on my Patreon page. Link is in the description, and all the tab is always free on my Patreon page. You don't have to be a member. Of course, I'd love it if some of you did become members though. So let's go and jump into this. So I'm going to start on the G note here. All this is in A minor. So I'm going to slide forward to my A note. Now I could also, instead of sliding, I could reach and just stretch, and that's true of all of these. You can either slide or stretch, your preference on what sound you want, and maybe the size of the frets and your flexibility will determine that. So now I'm going to go ahead and go to an A position. This one I'm going to stretch instead of sliding because I'm not really moving forward in it. Both strings end at the same fret, at 17, and my first string only moves 1 fret forward. So if I actually slid, it would put me out of position to get the next string. Okay, so that's the A position. Now the E one lends itself better to sliding because the next string starts directly under. So if I slide with my first finger, I'm set up to play my next position. Now I'm going to do the D position. Now watch and see if you notice what's similar about one we already did. So basically it's just the G one reversed. On the G one I did down here is G on the 5th string and then D. Now it's D and then G. So they just switch them and flip them over on this. Now the next one is C, and this is just the E position flipped over. Sorry, on the C instead of the E. Now this one's a little tough because you have to move back a fret. So you just have to make sure you remember to do that when you're doing like a 3 octave one and not go directly below. Now some positions like that, if they don't feel comfortable, there will be other places, like if I'm doing that same one crossing from to B string, that might feel more comfortable in that position. So you don't have to use every fingering in every octave, but you might find some octaves you do use and some you don't, and that's fine. You know, the key is just finding something you like and using, even if it's only one position on this. So let me go and jump into some licks now from this before we do the 3 octave positions on. The licks here are just ones I created earlier today. They aren't, in my opinion, that important. They're just examples. It's like if you look up a new word in the dictionary. You want to see it used in a sentence so you can kind of get the context of how it's used. That's what these are. I'm just using them in sentences, but you create your own sentences. But these are in the tab if you do want to check them out. So the first one, I'm just doing normal pentatonic scale. Then I go into that G shape. So I slide up into that. So again, mixing the normal pentatonic with the 3 note per string ones as a way to get from position to position. Now the next one I'm going to use that A fingering. So on this one, all I'm going to do is add a direction change here, and then end on the octave on the A. So then it sounds like this. Now the next one we use the E position. So I'm just using this, but I'm doing descending. Now I'm going to add in the A minor and mix it in A minor position here and the mixolydian position here. Now if I did that a little faster, it sound like that. So you can mix them with your 7-note scales, you can mix them with your pentatonics, you can just stay in them, whatever you want. You can also just take a single string from it. So if I just take the first 3 notes of the A position, instead of going into the next 3 notes of the blues scale, I could just go into a regular major scale here. So you get something like that. So, use them how you want. Break them into as small pieces as you want. Even if you don't use the whole scale, if you haven't done so many stretch positions before, you've got some new positions you can work from to connect things together. Okay, let's go and do the 3 octave positions. So I'm going to start on the same ones. So I'll start on the G one. So, see, it just start repeats. So the key on this is just make sure you can see where those octaves are. And then you're just going to do the same thing on each octave. Now if I do the A position next, this one can be a little bit confusing. Again, I'm just going to the octave. Coming back down, I would focus on the first note on it, because if I'm thinking of where the A notes are, that's going to be hard to visualize. So I'm just going to look where this G note is, and then those. That way I know I can do, and then I go to the G again, and go to G again. It's a little bit easier to visualize on the way back down. Now the next one I'm going to do is the E position. I'm going to start on the open E. I have the C, and then I have to shift back. Now I'm going to do the D position, which remember is just the G position reversed or flipped. Now I get up here, I could do a slide, but if you prefer, you could just stretch that. Since I'm not going to go further up, it kind of makes sense to not slide there. But if that throws you off doing it a different way than you've done the other strings, feel free to slide, that's fine. So now I'm going to do the C position. So this is the one where, again, I have to kind of shift back on it. Now this position, I'm not going to slide because I can stay all in one position here. Again, I'm not moving forward. And then you can, again, slide coming back. This one actually works pretty good reaching though. So if you prefer that and can stretch it, that's a good option on that. Okay, so let me go and hold up the tab so you can see that. So the first line and a little bit more up to here are the different positions I wrote underneath what note they're starting on and what that note is in relationship to the A minor that you're in. The next one are the licks. You could combine them all together by kind of wrote which fingering is here and put lines where the one ends and one starts on it. And then the one way down at the bottom here is the one where you just do the 3 notes and then add a scale run. Then the rest of these are your 3 octave positions. And again, you can slide or reach for them, it's up to you. Alright, so I think we'll leave it at that. Please like or subscribe. I'm still not monetized, but it would be nice to eventually, because it's going on almost 2 years I've been making videos. So I'd really appreciate if you can like, subscribe, share, do anything like that. Anyways, thanks for watching.